Scorch can be one of the most frustrating Titans to learn. A lot of people struggle to understand him because they don't know how easy it can really be, so I'm going to show you the best way to reduce your enemies to atoms. Before starting this video, I hadn't played Scorch in a very long time. After all, the game came out like 10 years ago and he was my original main. Coming back to Scorch feels like a warm hug that's actually a little too warm. And that may sound confusing, but I'll explain here in a minute. I'm also going to include a bunch of other totally irrelevant details that you never asked for, but you're going to have to deal with it. And I will spoon feed you if I have to. Scorch is designed around suffering. It may be you, or it may be the other team. Somebody will be screaming. No, what? To make sure I was the one inciting fear in my enemies, I dressed my Scorch up as the big green giant, because there's nothing scarier than vegetables. But this turned out to be a mistake because I accidentally attracted the IRS looking like a fat stack of cash.
What's that, cartoon where it's like, I'm your supermodel neighbor. I don't care who the IRS does.
Yes. But we will talk about the alphabet people later. Now, any good Scorch main has one objective: to set anything and everything on fire. They also happen to be connoisseurs of war crime style, which is not to be confused with animal style. Anyone that has mastered Scorch is a true artist and fire is their paintbrush, and I will teach you how to get there. As poetic as that sounds, I do mean it literally. Scorch won't stop until the entire world is on fire. Friends, foes, even Marvin is getting barbecued. It's all on the menu and the chef is cooking. Sir, if my client is what he eats, he's an innocent man. Someone in chat once told me that Scorch gives off major dad energy, and I could not agree more. He's that guy at the barbecue that's just hanging out grilling the whole time, and if you need a bottle opener, he's got it. Need a grammar lesson? He's the one. The only thing with being faster, the Scorch, is that you live forever on fire. What? Okay, I'm gonna start implementing a rule of using proper English, because, like, half the time I can't understand what you guys are even trying to say. I know this is the internet, but, like, come on. This is the only stream where you have to use proper punctuation and commas. And don't forget the semicolon.
And no dangling participles.
And no dangling participle. Built by Hammond Robotics with the Ogre chassis, Daddy Scorch has a very large health pool and heavy armor. Scorch is designed for area denial and punishing trapped enemies with a mixture of flammable gas and thermite. He is the closest thing that exists to a robot firebender. And for anyone that doesn't know,
you mix fuel, metal oxide, and metal powder in just the right way, it burns at 2,000 degrees Celsius.
The entire kit is based around his T203 thermite launcher primary, which is another point that's incredibly painful for both you and the bad guy. It is insanely slow projectile speed and an even slower fire rate, but in the right hands it can be pretty deadly thanks to the absurd poke damage. Quick tip to make your life easier: aiming the arc of your shot. If you ADS, it'll show you a line where the shell is going. Because of all these traits, it can be a little hard to kill pilots with, but it's not impossible. Aim to catch them when they're on the ground or on the wall. Of course, it is always easier if they just let you shoot them. He held still. All this heat from Papa Scorch would have been very welcome on the trip I went on with my buddies recently. We decided it would be a good idea to go snow camping on top of a mountain. So, as you can imagine, heat was a rare commodity, but was even more rare was brain cells.
I mean, it was like snow camping when I threw the lighter in Ethan's face while he was trying to put the fire together.
What was that about? Can we talk about that?
I told you it was there!
I didn't think you were serious because it was such a brain-dead thing to do. I didn't think you would actually throw a lighter in the fire while I was trying to build a fire.
I thought you were going to move your face.
He told you the truth. He said
he did,
hey,
and he's usually so full of shit that I didn't believe him. But I guess I can't really talk too much because I did end up driving my truck off a cliff in that same trip. Oh, the driver's door was smashed up against a tree, so I had to roll the window down. I had to roll the window down and crawl out the window.
He almost killed half our friend group.
He almost killed me. I was in the truck with him.
You were fine. We were going 2 miles an hour.
Yes,
and
but there
you
was a
sent
cliff.
us over an edge. What's your point?
It wasn't that bad. I was going to say it wasn't that steep of a cliff, but it was definitely a full-on
Ethan,
cliff.
if those trees were not there, we would have been rolling for about
100%.
12 seconds.
Yeah. Yeah, no, for sure. That tree saved our life.
We were not buckled in, too.
Also, I don't even know if the airbags work in that truck. Were you the one of the ones that keyed my truck, or was that just Joey and Jackson?
That was Joey and Jackson.
I tried to fix it.
That scratching it out does not make it better.
I was trying to make it better. Jackson wrote something bad. That is
All
a
I'm
deterrent.
gonna say is I told you guys, hey, you really should stop, and then you're like,
I'm just gonna have like lipstick marks on a glass and just leave it out on the table or something when his fiance
Are you
gets
gonna
home.
put lipstick on your mouth and then?
Dude, I might. Like,
Put
I'm
him on a-
dedicated.
Yeah, Battery Thief. There's these small, like, little beepers that are like the size of a quarter that'll beep for like 5 years at random intermittent times.
Oh, that's good. I like that.
That's what I was saying. Put a beeper on his ceiling fan.
Now, if you're new here, consider this your final warning before I get to the point of no return. If you don't already have a mental illness, you just wait until I open that mental deficiency valve. Hey, K-Day. Welcome. We're currently talking about manufacturing weapons and selling them to the government.
Wow, so you just dove right in there.
Yeah, it gets you a good
No
idea
idea
of
that
what
this
you're in for. K-Day says, I love selling weapons to the government.
Well,
You're gonna fit
in the
right in. You found the
stream.
right place. I am a caterpillar. My poops are chambered in 9mm. Somebody subscribed. I don't know who, because it doesn't show me for some reason, but I goddamn 1 grand ping. I need a new change of pants. Me too, buddy.
I've been sick and I desecrated my pants earlier today.
Oh, what? Unfortunately for most of my group, the number of brain cells required to play Scorch effectively is more than 0. Because having a game plan inherently requires just like the mildest bit of planning, you can probably get by just shooting flames at other titans and hoping for the best. But in order to really work the enemy team, you have to think a few moves ahead by trapping bad guys. So let's go over the tools you'll need to do that. Scorch uses 3 supporting abilities, all of which are incredibly useful in their own way, and once I show you how to master them, we'll really be cooking with gas. My personal favorite is the Flame Shield, accompanied by the Inferno Shield perk that gives you a little bit more fuel for it. This is sure to make anyone and everyone regret getting close to you because of how fast you can literally melt through their health. The Firewall ability is good for narrow hallways and catching anyone running away from you. Get him, Yo-Yo! Get him! Jump him! Oh, hello. It may not look like a whole lot of fire, but as long as they're touching it, they will be taking damage. If you always keep some fire on the ground, you can rack up a few accidental kills on pilots if they're not paying attention. Gas traps round out Scorch's kit. You can put these just about anywhere thanks to how much they lob through the air. You set the super flammable tanks anywhere you want to trap someone, then when you're ready, you just put some fire on it and everything nearby will be engulfed in flames. This is useful for when your fire doesn't have enough fire. But you do have to be careful because this will hurt you a lot if you walk in your own flames, unless you bring the tempered plating perk, which I highly recommend for everyone new. Other perks include Wildfire Launcher, Inferno Shield, Fuel for the Fire, and Scorched Earth. These 3 here are my recommendations if you really want to maximize the fun. Scorched Earth is the only one I haven't gone over yet, and this one is for players that have truly ascended to creating true works of art with all the fire imaginable. Let me tell you why. For Scorch's core ability, he punches the ground and sends out a shockwave of fire, doing massive damage to everyone in the way. Scorched Earth modifies it to leave behind a pool of fire after the shockwave is gone. If you find yourself constantly missing kills with your core ability by the smallest amount, you might want to try this one. Might as well add some war crime to your war crimes. I don't personally use this perk specifically because I don't want to get investigated by the alphabet people. I just went through the 9-month process of buying a suppressor, and I'd like to not make that process any longer next time. Let's not get into that. I would like to clear my background check the next time I go to buy a suppressor, please. I'm coming over to JB Weld your suppressor into your gun. The trick is to get your DeWalt power drill and manually thread your pistol. I don't think it is. What you got there, a boba tea? Is that a pre-1986 ban? No. I'm telling the ATF, that's fine, I have a minigun. Battery Thief said I swallowed some batteries once. Ironic, huh?
Did you steal those batteries, Battery Thief?
He did steal those batteries. Scorch can either be your best friend or your worst enemy. It doesn't matter whose team he's on or who's playing him. If you don't give Papa Scorch the respect he deserves, you'll soon wish that you did. The key to success, though, is enjoying yourself. And really that applies to all aspects of life, not just Titanfall. Obviously, we're going to have ups and downs, but I think that our society has drank the Kool-Aid on the idea that living means being miserable. If you find that you're unhappy the majority of the time, it probably means you're ready to make a change, whether it's small or big. Don't be afraid to make a jump as long as you have some idea where you're jumping. Remember, it's not that serious. It's just life. I know that's a lot more real than I usually get on these videos. I've just been thinking about life, and it's nice to write it down and share it with somebody that might need to hear it. If you haven't seen my Monarch video, it got some incredible feedback, so go check that one out. And don't forget to join the Discord channel to find other mentally deficient people to play games, share memes, and argue with. See you the next time, and remember to consider taking that leap of faith.